Welcome back, guys, and you are watching the Pro Gaming Series 2017 Spring Split, powered by Bacchus Energy Drink. And of course, I'm Vulcan, and joining with me is Yuko. So, how was the game for you guys? Was it intense? 1-1 Emperor Esports against Mineski.
They're clearly making a statement that they're not a team to underestimate now. And speaking of teams, here is our MVP. Dang, it's Fade!
Why was Fade picked? Because of his performance in the mid lane. First game, he was very safe gaming. But when it comes to the late game, he delivered so much with that rise. And on the second game, it was that Cassiopeia.
It was really good actually, and despite Cassiopeia just helping from the backline, sometimes it was still pretty useful all throughout the game.
Of course, with that said, let's look at our schedule to see what is the upcoming match today. TNC versus Acclaim Empire X, and a game after that around 7 p.m. approximately would be Team Manila Eagles versus Rebirth Gamers Hub. So, Acclaim Empire X against TNC. Acclaim Empire X, they are the defending champions
They
of the
are.
previous split, and TNC is a new team, right?
Despite TNC being new, I would have to say they have a really clear view on their objectives, so we will see how far will they take that advantage against the defending champions.
So let's get to the standings to see where the previous game, the team stands right now. So Emperor Esports 4-4 against going back to Mineski. They're now 7-1, one defeat. They are the undefeated champions have their first defeat, and of course TNC 4-2 against Acclaim 2-4. So if ever this is
Switched numbers.
switch numbers, and if this is a sweep on either teams, Acclaim can take over the ranks against who was the team again?
AEX against TNC.
TNC. So TNC, a new team. We've seen they were playing against the big heads, the powerhouses. They did relatively well.
They did. It was a really noteworthy match, but we will see. We're in week 3. What more amazing things can they show us?
So with that said, guys, let us go to the drafting phase. The new 10-ban system is now on the 3rd week. Let's see what's gonna be their focus ban. First ban, Graves. Graves jungle, or perhaps Graves top, because when you play Graves, it's about being aggressive, utilizing his early spike damage, and then snowball. Let's say if Graves just has like 3 kills, that is more than enough for him to secure kills on any type of lane.
Such a huge advantage. And let's not forget that in patch 7.2, Graves now has a true grit that is refreshed by both attacks and skills against non-minions.
So what does that mean? He can prolong his passive. I mean, the one thing about Graves is that when you play him, it's about maintaining that passive as long as you can. That determines between a really good Graves player and a good Graves player. So okay, finalizing their first banning phase, it would be a Graves, Zac, a LeBlanc, Kha'Zix, Camille, and Ziggs. Bot lane Ziggs has been such a nuisance in the split this season,
It
right?
is. You could see the damage just going all over the map.
Of course, Kha'Zix. We all know why Kha'Zix is banned. Because the lethality has been buffed. The Duck's Blade has been buffed. So with that being said, a comfort. It's comforting to see a Kha'Zix ban. So none of the teams want to deal with that. A first pick on a Maokai by Lando.
I'm actually curious. Lando is a really good Maokai player. And we all know that Maokai has been one of the most picked top lanes. And looking at AEX, we could see a Malzahar support.
Malzahar support and a Rek'Sai. Right now, it's more about suppression on a claim side with their first 2 picks. They opened up with a support and a jungle, but their bans are also a jungle and a top and mid laner. Let's see how TNC answers this, because with the new 10-ban system, it's about predicting what the opponent would pick. How can you choke their pick? I mean, how can you at least strategize against them? So on TNC side, they finalized their first pick. It is a Varus and a Zyra.
A support Zyra.
Support Zyra against a Malzahar.
What are your thoughts on these 2 supports?
With Malzahar in the bot lane against a Zyra. Zyra has the advantage of that range, Strangle Thorns, and those plants when they spawn, they can at least deliver a lot of damage against the opponent. Like Malzahar has the Void Links, Zyra has the plant, but of course the Void Links offer more zoning potential because they chased you down while the plants would just stay there. But in terms of damage in the early game, it's Zyra. It goes to Zyra. But Malzahar, the later, when it's level 6, has that more gaze, has more utility. But it'll be hard for Malzahar to even approach a Zyra, yet alone it's an ADC Varus. In the second batting phase, Nautilus and a Nocturne.
Oh, that is something you don't see anything. Well, they already have the top lane, so I'm not so sure why they would ban a Nautilus.
Because when you talk about Nautilus, right now Acclaim has no top laner, and the only reason why they could ban a Nautilus and a Poppy, we've seen Maokai and Nautilus's matchup. It doesn't look pretty for a Maokai.
It's not something
It's-
AEX would want.
It's not something they won't want, and Nautilus has more damage compared to a Maokai, and more sustain because of that Titan's Wrath shield. That's why TNC doesn't want to deal with that, banning that champion. And of course, on the Acclaim Empire X's side, Corki and a Nocturne because TNC has no jungler. That's why they're taking their time. They have to strategize what can they pick against a Rek'Sai, which has a global presence. Because Nocturne also has the global presence. That's why they don't want to deal with it. They want only Rek'Sai to have that because of his rotations in the map.
I was actually looking forward for a Nocturne jungle, but it's kind of funny how the map just goes all black when he's gonna enter a
Of,
clash.
of course, when the paranoia is up, it confuses the enemy. It gives him, the advantage of vision, the surprise attack. And on TNC side, they finalize it. Of course, a jungle Vi. Vi has been not anymore in this split, but in the previous split and scene, she's been such a contested pick. But right now, not much of a presence. But now we get to see how TNC will utilize that Vi. And of course, on a Claim in Pirate X, it's not anymore calculated as their mid laner. It is Vanguard. He was the support.
He was a support last time.
Of course, support, but he uses champions that are, AP mages. He is always spot on with those skill shots. That's why it's not much of a penalty for him to actually switch to mid to support because of his jump pull. So now we get to see it is a mid Malzahar and a support Karma, not anymore that Malzahar support.
Scratch
And-
that.
Scratch that, and it's a top Veigar against a Maokai. I'm not sure how Veigar would fare against a Maokai because of his utility in the gap closing, but farm-wise, Veigar has a safe enough space, but I don't think TNC will allow that with an aggressive jungler like Vi. Deathing blows have that passive, tank shredding, of course, assault and battery is such a great ultimate for chasing down any fleeing targets. With the mid Katarina.
We all know that Katarina had a somewhat how am I supposed to say this? A somewhat nerf, but not much given that that nerf only affects when she's up against champions that have a long sword build. So
Of course, let's see the player statistics. KD of versus 4.2 compared to Tamsu. Why is that? Because look at that kill to participation. 65% compared to 56.6. You can clearly see how TNC is really going for much of a team fight.
they're into
Instead-
rotations.
Into rotations, team fights, timing, and reading the opponent so that they could have the upper hand. So there, guys, have it. TNC Pro Team versus Acclaim Empire X. And really interesting matchup. New team, veteran team, but Acclaim Empire X has been struggling in the scene. So let's see how they will play against a new team like TNC.
That is true. And let's not forget, there have been so much changes at the jungle, and we will see how Tamsu and Burst will utilize that to their advantage.
Without further ado, guys, this is match 2, game 1 against TNC versus Acclaim Empire X. TNC on the blue side and Acclaim on the red side. Let's see how they will start with the new jungle. Like what you said, Yuko, it has been buff for the monsters and not for the junglers. They're tankier, they're stronger. The spawning time is a bit long. It's longer by 3 seconds compared to 137. It spawns at 140. So that will make the leashing a bit more. There'll be more penalty if the leishers are gonna stay longer. They will miss like 3 minions. So that's actually a big, starting at least for the EXP.
People actually thought that 3 seconds ain't that much, but really, it's a huge thing you might want to look up on since, well, CS is a huge advantage if you want to be at the lead. First, to get the SS, whichever lanes, gets the advantage first.
Of course, with that said, you can expect that Lando and Burst will be the frontliners with that keystone. Courage of the Colossus will provide them a really beefy shield if ever they choose to go in first. Of course, they're the front lines with Katarina as with match. This will be a dangerous lineup against a Claim Empire X because look at their lineup. It's more on suppression.
They're really conservative, and I'm looking at Raze right now because we all know that Varus has been a really famous pick when it comes to ADC, given that he's a utility champion and has crowd control. And he can lock down enemies. He is hard to dive when it comes to team-oriented fights.
Oh,
very
look at that. Orthra should have checked that flash. Taking a lot of damage. Burns his flash. Same with Genvi. 2 flashes down. Sorry, make that 3 flashes down in the bot lane. TNC lost 2 flashes, while Acclaim only has lost 1. He should have checked that flash. I mean, they're playing the hide and seek game because they can with that Karma, that range and poke damage.
when you just want to face check but but you just have to use your flash. We will see what consequence will that have, and here the mid lane.
You can see the
Just a couple of
aggression.
blood pokes.
The aggression that Match is bringing into the mid lane against that Malzahar. He has to do that because Malzahar at level 1 is kind of weak until he reaches that level 6, which gives him an incredible advantage against a channeling ultimate like the Death Lotus of Katarina.
That is true. And looking back again into Tamsu and Burst.
Oh, he flashes in onto Endless Ace, but that stun rage is still stuns Burst, denying him of that denting blow travel time. So that's gonna be a huge penalty for Lando for burning his flash without any result.
Remember when Mineski's top lane earlier had a Christmas skin? Now we can see Endless Ace actually having another Christmas skin. So what is the thing with Christmas? It's almost Valentine's. Oh wait, no, never mind. LOL is life. So going back to the mid lane, we could see that a couple of lap taps from Match and Vanguard.
So Match against Malzahar, he has to play it safe. I mean, play it safe for the Malzahar, but for Katarina has to shut him down early as possible. But Vanguard will not allow it. It's interesting to see how Vanguard will do in the mid lane because he was from support to now a mid laner, replacing Calculated.
A thing that could help Vanguard take down the mid would be wait for Tamsu's presence, and maybe Endless Ace is kind of busy when it comes to the top, so he might want to lean onto Tamsu more since Tamsu is really good when it comes to roaming.
With 2 junglers on the bot side, however, Tamsu backs away. This gives Burst the upper hand, but he's on a ward. They spot him, so they are backing away with 2 junglers just visiting the bot lane to see how things are going.
I told you, vision is important, and now Lando here at the top lane. You know, Lando has been really good with Maokai, and we will see how AEX will respond to that with Endless Ace's Faker.
Vanguard. Interestingly, Vanguard has to build defensive first, in my opinion, against a first champion like Katarina, because of how much Death Lotus can bring to the table, and also the Shumpo, the resets, is somehow very tricky for Malzahar to even evade, because Malzahar has low mobility compared to a high mobility like Katarina, so the Void Lanes will have a hard time even chasing down that champion. Look at that, TNC getting the first Drake early as for almost 5 minutes. No wards are placed, so this will be uncontested. A really fast early jungle. Just 5 minutes in the game, they have secured their first dragon, which is the Cloud.
An effortless Drake indeed. And going back to Katarina, with her AP ratio decreased to 0.5 from 0.65 last time, it does give her enemies a chance to fight back early to mid game. They might want to put that in check because once late game enters and the Katarina knows has this huge buff or lead, it would be it'd be really hard for AEX to take down that Cat.
Right now, Burst is on by with the Courage of the Colossus. Will not go for that Thunderlord's Decree that we always see on some buys. Because Vi is like, in my opinion, a Lee Sin in a way that he has really good damage, but now he has been spotted and the blue side of the jungle. Time to respond to that. And in the mid lane, match against Vanguard, but Vanguard gets the upper hand with those void links, and he has the ignite landed, but he will not secure a kill. But now in the bot lane, Genvi has to back away with that Zyra. I have to say, that Zyra deals a lot of damage. You cannot enter against the Zyra, and now Vanguard reached 6. He has the Void Gaze and secures the kill onto Burst.
A fast response from Vanguard and Tamsu. Wow. Well, they were probably gonna avenge that surplus.
It's because Match died. Match gave the kill to Vanguard, giving him that EXP to reach level 6. So Burst was caught off by surprise with that Void Gaze, and now Endless Ace, no mana. But Baker has the passive. He can sustain himself in the lane, but he has to wait it out. Not much aggression towards a Maokai because, I mean, Maokai has the passive. The more spells you cast around him, he has that regeneration, and that will not spell good news for Endless Ace, being a casting champion like Veigar.
That is true. And this Ace would want to keep that in check. And looking again at the bot lane, a Twitch and a Karma against a Varus and a Zyra. What are your thoughts on this?
Twitch and a Zyra against a Zyra. I mean, Twitch has that stealth ability. I mean, it's actually just camouflage. Can still be spotted, so Genvi will have a hard time repositioning because of Arthros. And that Zyra with the Strangle Thorns will not give him an easy pathing to his escape.
But then again, we'll have matches that roams quite a lot of times and loves to participate when it comes to team fights.
I mean, Match is now having a difficult time. Like I said, when Mazahar reaches level 6 against the Katarina, Match has lost his window of opportunity to control that mid lane, being the Mazahar has that void. If ever, you know, Match decides to go all in, it's a bad choice because of the void links and the void gaze.
That is true. So much pressure on the mid lane, and none for now, none so far the top lane, since they're just both tanky champions. They might want to wait it out to the mid and late part of the game.
With Veigar is actually a mage champion. I mean, Veigar is not a type of champion you want to engage on. He has to farm. It's like the Nasus of AP. So Maokai will have a hard time, but there's that teleport! A sneaky teleport by Lando goes on to Cannon. He flashes over to Cannon. Now the focus is on the guy. Will he die? But Genvi is also part of the collateral damage. He gets suppressed. The turret finishes him off. Lando goes down. A reckless play by TNC. Now they pay the price with Endless Ace from the top lane. Stunning Trace. He goes down. It's a 0-4 score now. 2-0 for Acclaim Empire X.
That was a really nice teleport from Lando, but he forgot the turret. It was there, it was hitting him, and AEX got that to their advantage, and that was a 2-for-none trade.
Lando overcommitted. His teammates weren't ready. They weren't comfortable. They are just level 5. No ultimates yet compared to the bot lane of Acclaim Empire X. They have that Karma, that Twitch, that Bind secured his fate. And now look at it. They're in the jungle. They're in the bot side rush. Not giving up. There's the Death Lotus, but he has to back away. Now Endless Ace is the target on Burst. He flashes towards him to get the kill. Genvi out of mana, but the suppression is there. He is not going anywhere, giving him that double kill.
Wow, a really nice double kill from AEX. Yeah, you know what? TNC should have clearer view on their objectives. Like, if Lando or any champion from their team at this point would want to enter a team fight or initiate a team fight, they should really check for visions, and if AEX have that utility to actually fight back or turn that clash around.
Match really mistimed that entrance with the Katarina's Death Lotus. Not many champions were even inside the radius for him to deal damage. But in return, he has to back away, trying to deal damage towards Genvi, but he was in a safe position, and Burst overcommitted, overextended. Because when you play Vi, of course, Assault and Battery is a really nice utility ultimate, chasing down and securing kills, but you also have to pace your team. Well, of course, Vi will close the gap very quickly, but the team will slow. That's why they've lost that fight.
And we could see at the lower part of your screens, Orthros and Cannon. We could see that TNC has the support thing in the bag. So we will see how Cannon will keep up with those stats as a team.
Look at Lando against that Veigar, and he can't really do much with that stun. It's a huge stun radius, and even if he's a Maokai, he can't just recklessly go in against the Veigar because he has escape, he has that flash on cooldown still, but it'll be up pretty soon. Also, Lando's cooldowns are down, so In the end,
Don't no overextend for now. Some summoner spells are down.
in the end, Veigar will win. If in the farming phase, Veigar will surely win with that AP stack from his first skill.
You could see that the both junglers were face to face, and I was actually expecting a fight, but no, they just want to farm this out and just help their teammates whenever they can. Given that bot lane has the most tension for now.
In the bot lane, I couldn't say that, Acclaim and FireX are the ones going into a fight. They are changing fights towards their favor because of their their stat karma, the shield and the boost for Genvi. That's why he was able to escape and sustain himself. Whereas for TNC, it's about going all in. There's that Vi, there's the Katarina, there's the Zyra. But there's that gap also between Burst and his teammates because when he went all in, he was alone. That was his mistake. He has to wait for a decent gap closing. Like Match has to prepare with the preparation blade, has to time it properly. It's all about timing right now for TNC's comp.
Jungle is important, but let's not forget, before actually charging in, you might want to check if your teammates are there. And like you said earlier, he should wait for a match and maybe check on Therese and Arthur's again as well, since both bot lane duos have their ults up.
And look at that, Tamsu spots Burst in the red side. There are no wards actually. Burst was just cautious because they were spotted in the riverside. And now, Tamsu invading Burst's personal space for that red buff. And of course, there's also Vanguard with that Mazar. He might go in with a flash in Void Case, but there it is. Tamsu has been rooted by the Zyra. Won't do much. They back away.
A nice response from Arthuros.
In the bot lane, of course, Orthos is playing Zyra. When you play Zyra, it's about rotation and knowing the time to roam around the map. And you can see Genvi can't really do much against a virus because of that Zyra cannot close in and cannot really use the full power of the ultimate of Twitch, which is the rat-a-tat-tat.
I like how you say Rattlers. It's like you're singing. Okay, go. I am curious on if this game, it probably will reach the mid game. Which team will have the
Oh, flash in Void Case. Burst is not going anywhere, but there is Match for the response. There is the double kill also by Tamsu. That has been a really missed time for TNC against Acclaim because there is that knockup cancelling the ultimate of the Katarina.
A 2 for non-trade in favor of AEX. Wow, nice play, but we could see earlier the match didn't have anything to do. He was just roaming around and just getting all the skills. But and now we could see AEX targeting that Rift Herald.
Katarina will have a really hard time. Match is gonna have to look for that smallest window of opportunity to go all in with the Death Lotus, but it will be very difficult. There's the Veigar, there is also Tamsu playing Rek'Sai. There's also a Malzahar. I mean, 3 hard CCs to cancel matches, resets is going to prove difficult, and it shows right now with his KDA being 0-3 against a Malzahar.
So much pressure all over the map, and it's just roughly 14 minutes into the game. A thing for TNC would be if Match was able to land that Death Lotus on time, followed by Burst and Lando at the front line.
You can see Vanguard just walking past the enemy. He faced that mistake by giving Burst the kill. What was he thinking? Just waddling around the river with no care in the world.
When you want to face check but you got killed. Well, we will see how Vanguard will keep up with that. I hope he won't do that again. It was really reckless.
And now it is a 4-man dive against Endless Ace. He cannot survive that. There is the kill for Match. Will help him itemize for that Hex Tech Gunblade.
Tamsu didn't even want to enter that heating match, and we could see TNC targeting that top turret.
The first turret has not yet been taken, but will go to TNC. They've secured the first drake, the first turret, but I can't say if they secured the laning phase properly for their ADC. Raze is being targeted. Genvi flashes towards him. The Rat-Tat-Tats won't do much. He has to get away. What are they doing? They cannot stay long in that lane because of that wave. See, they are taking turret hits, and with Vi and Katarina just fresh from the fountain, they have to play it safe.
So much damage from Reza. We've seen that was amazing actually. Well, one of the things you might want to consider if you want to dive under a turret that's up is check your minions. You wouldn't want to have to get any extra turret damages. It might literally cost your life.
Of course, when you're gonna dive, correct, the minion wave is something you have to watch out for. And look at that, TNC getting the mountain drink. Will be getting uncontested. Genvi is there. Raze is dangerously low, but same with Arthros. Genvi survives, and now the teleport is going to help them win the fight. But Woolen, here comes Vega with the stun, lands on the time zone, but now Match, he got his reset, he gets away, and now leaving the members of TNC barely fighting for his life. Not much is gonna happen for TNC because 4 members of that match could not fully commit, knowing that there's hard crowd control there. Now Lando is just going to be very lonely, giving ace to Acclaim Empire X.
First ace of the game, and it was kind of surprising given that TNC was able to take down the Drake, but AEX just went all out on them, pressured them, and eventually they got that clash to their favor.
The dragon was secured also by TNT, but they have lost the clash. I mean, objective-wise, they have the turret, they have the drakes. But in gold lead, it's on Acclaim Empire X. They've only got the cloud, they only got the mountain drake. But if they can't use those buffs to their advantage, I mean, mountain drake is all about objectives, turrets, and epic monsters like the Baron and the dragon. Cannot do much with the presence in the map of Acclaim Empire X. They cannot do successful rotations.
A nice response from Tamsi right there because he was taking the mid turret, and the moment he saw Match, jumped away.
Interestingly, Endless Ace is itemizing very offensively, not getting the Fear of the Goddess, where you normally get on a Veigar for a heavy lane sustaining. But now since the lane is the laning phase, I think for the laning phase for Acclaim is finished. Now they are doing rotations. With that Morella Molicon, it would be a great help against Varus.
Rotations, decision makings, and initiations. I'm curious to what both teams will have in store for us in this game. It's just roughly 18 minutes anyways, and the next Drake will be a Mountain Drake. Ika nga ni Shinbu, ang pinaka makunat na Drake of all Drakes.
Right now, burst. No idea in the world that Damsu is there. There it is. He knocks out, and there's the teleport. But will it be in time for him to save the fight? Look at Genvi free hitting with the rat-a-tat-tat. Lando notices that, goes to Genvi to secure the kill, as he does. But now it's going to be a reverse fight for Acclaim Empire X. But with Lando there, it's going to be a losing fight with that suppression, with the mouse heart. Oh, it bought time, but it cannot buy those kills.
Wow, Zarya actually had her ult, popped her ult at the right time, which managed to kill and put a lot of damage from a number of champions from AEX, but sadly TNC wasn't able to utilize that. And Raze, okay, going back to the replay, we could see that you were right, Burst did not see Tamtu was there. Cannon and Genvi slowly getting onto Burst, and we'll wait, see? It was a really nice timing from Arthos, and Matt just waiting for the proper time to strike. And I was curious since Vanguard was dropping a couple of skills but missed a lot.
What happened here was TNC. They had fresh ultimates. Match was the last person to go in the clash. He's fresh from the base. That's why in terms of resource management, TNC had more to offer to the table compared to Acclaim Empire X. Genvi really used his window of opportunity with the ultimate. It ran out. That's why they didn't have enough damage, giving TNC that upper hand in the red side of the jungle. Plus the spacing of Genvi, his location around the map, was not really beneficial for his ultimate to be hit in a straight line.
And we could see that the bot duo now putting pressure onto that top lane. 3 members of TNC are at the top with 3 more members from AEX gonna support their teammates. So much pressure.
So much pressure in the top lane. It is now a 5-man team on the top lane. Acclaim wants that turret. They want objectives now with third score of 1 to 3. They are really putting pressure around the map. Even without the Drake buffs, they are still managing well because of that Rek'Sai.
Well, Lando is really tanky right now, and his health doesn't go down fast, and he might want to be at the front line with Katarina slowly helping from the back line. But they have Raze, they have that rage, so they might want to utilize on that.
Katarina is gonna have a really tricky time going in. Of course, Match, I think he noticed that he has to space it out properly. There's the Maokai and Rek'Sai. I mean, you can't just carelessly go in. Match has to go in last for Match to even do something for his teammate with that damage. And you can clearly see they're having a difficult time pushing because of the Veigar and that Twitch.
So much love taps at the mid, and Gen D with Endless Ace just waiting on that front line. We could see the AEX is the one being aggressive now, so they have the upper hand when it comes to turrets.
Turrets and team fights in favor of Acclaim if they know how to use their resources. I mean, their ultimates. It's all onto Vanguard to pinpoint who is the high priority. Match was not there, so Vanguard couldn't do much, and he can't really wait for that Garena to just go enter and use that suppression. That's why Match saw that. He noticed that the suppression is gone, the crack control is not anymore there. They've burned it all. That's why that gave him that time to enter. So right now TNC is playing more on that a bit, laid back, but at the same time they're waiting for the right time to go all in against Acclaim and Fire X.
Well, I am curious since you said who would Vanguard prioritize. They had match at check during the early part of the game, but I'm actually playing on if they should prioritize burst, match, or raise. Well, raise does have the advantage from the backline match again as Katarina with that Black Lotus, and burst is can be really a threat when it comes to the front line. So we'll just wait and check what Vanguard will have.
Now Acclaim and Fire X has secured their first Drake of the game. It is the Mountain Drake, but TNC has secured two Drakes for them, Cloud and Mountain. In terms of objective securing, after taking down objectives, they're equal. But in rotations, TNC has the advantage with that movement speed, plus they have the Vi and a Maokai.
You will see how they will utilize it. And they still have the buff, so they can still push. And we could see that tension heating up at the mid lane.
Nothing's happening too much. They're waiting. They're waiting. They're not complete yet. Acclaim they're not fully solid group, whereas TNC they're actually a 5-man wall against that mid outer turret. But you have to also understand that Lando, he has been consistent in going in team fights, but has not been successful in shielding his teams with that vengeful maelstrom. That's what Maokai is for. You have to kite for your ADC, peel for your ADC, and make room for match to go all in with the Death Lotus. And Acclaim noticed that. That's why with the stun of Veigar and Rek'Sai, they're really waiting for the right time to block match from that opportunity.
Lando and Race both have AoE and crowd control, so TNC might want to utilize on that given that AEX is pushing into their base more and more. And see, they're looking at the map, they're getting really close to the base. I'd like to say that once you're at the mid and you're beyond that turret, it's like the red zone because they could reach your base anytime and target that first inner turret at the base.
Oh, Arthros is out of the map. He has to burn the flash to get away, and that gives Acclaim. But he's not letting him get away. Vanguard goes all in onto Arthur, but will he go down? Yes, he does. Spending his ultimate won't be enough to secure his escape.
A face check done wrong, and we will see how Arthros will have to respond to that. Now, members of the AEX are slowly backing away. We could see that Tamsu is at the bot lane, probably gonna split push or waiting for some buffs.
When you play a Vi, it's in terms of itemization, Burst is actually behind. It is 24 minutes into the game and only completing that warrior enchantment on the jungler's item. No 24s yet. It's a very expensive build path. And look at the CS of Rek'Sai compared to Burst. Look at that, 65 to 209.
So much gap, but I really think Burst might have a hard time catching up. And earlier we were talking about how Burst and Tamsu will be the highlight of this game since so much changed at the jungle, and we will see. Oh, you're right. Now the CS at 71 and 214, that gap.
Not just that, the level gap is by 3. Tamsu is level 15, Burst is level 12. It just goes to show that the new jungle changes is not forgiving to Vi, because Vi has really poor sustain, has really slow wave clear at start. That's why he suffered that with just CS of 72, really behind in itemization. Tamsu finished 3 items, whereas, Burst is still struggling with that second item.
More love taps at the mid, and Three members of AEX trying to put that pressure, but okay. Going back to Burst, what do you think should Burst do in order to catch up with that Rek'Sai?
I'm not sure if Burst is really playing Vi offensively. He
Mhm.
has the courage of the Colossus, but is not building for it. With the more maximum health will benefit him more, but that's not doing well. And see that burst from Veigar, who's securing the kill with the Thunderlord Decree, just tapping his last bit of health, securing the kill for him.
Because of that, Endless Ace is now a rampage. I'm curious, was Endless Ace able to take down wards? You know the thing about 45 wards, right? I just can't forget. It was really amusing. Well, here at the mid lane, well, the map did tone down for a bit. We will see what TNC will do to answer that kill.
It's going to be tricky for TNC to go in with that huge stun radius of that Veigar. And Lando is really scaring them away. Don't want them even near that turret.
Lander's doing its anchor right now. Earlier, Gen V was targeting the turret while his other members.
Oh, look at that! All resources are spent on Lando. It pays off, giving Vanguard that kill with no tank for TNC. They are so vulnerable. There is no room for escape from the Veigar stun. And now it is pure cleanup for Acclaim Empire X. But hold that thought, Match is there with the reset, but won't do much because that is going to be an easy pickup for Genvi, giving him that double kill 4-3 with only Burst remaining to defend that base. It's not looking pretty for TNC.
So much pressure from AEX. That was a really nice play, and as early, you've mentioned earlier how Burst might have a hard time keeping up. He's the only one alive for now. What will he do since Genvi and Tamsu are now targeting that first turret into their base, with
Yep.
Tamsu still at that lead?
He has to provide wave clear, but Vi has no form of decent wave clear. Just has that stunting blows and blasting blows, but won't be enough. And now Lando flash in onto Tamsu. Was that the right choice? Genvi is there for free hitting, and here comes the teleport from Endless Ace with that Veigar. A Banshee's Veil. Really, really nice pickup against a Maokai.
Two summoners burned, and here at the restage, it was a really nice initiate actually, and we could see that Tamsu responded on time, targeted Orthoros, and Match was taking on to Endless Ace and managed to pick that champion up. But overall, I would have to say it was a really nice response from Tamsu. Well, Match didn't have, yeah, Match couldn't do anything about that.
Match's entrance was mistimed because what happened there, Lando is not there. They don't have the tank. They don't have like a room of escape because of the Veigar stun, the radius. That it's really frustrating when you're inside that circle. You are just sitting there waiting for your death, and that's how the cleanup happened.
Let's not forget that AEX targeted Lando first, and I would have to say, skills and summoner spells used on Lando was really useful and advantageous to their side because easy, easy pick up onto TNC members.
29 minutes in the game, it's 11-21. A huge goal lead for Acclaim with 10,000, and they have secured, wow, 2 Mountain Drakes. That will make them take down turrets with ease.
Let's not forget that AEX has this shaky gameplay before. Okay, I said before. But now we could see that they have a clear view on their objectives. And we will see how they'll play it out, sustain that advantage, and maybe we'll wait for for TNC's answer to that sustain.
Well, with now Burst finishing off that Trinity Force, will that be their saving grace in terms of damage output? Matt is having a really hard time timing his entrance, but with the Trinity Force, let's hope that Burst will give more to in terms of damage output, chasing down targets and securing kills. Of course, the high priority target now is Genvi. Genvi is gonna be easy to burst out, but with Endless Ace is stun as with the Veigar, it's going to be hard for Burst to even go in. It's such a bad game for Vi to be in right now.
Tamsu's damage though at that inner bot lane turret. Wow.
Because of that 2 stacks of Mountain Drain, in proportion to your attack, it's true damage. That's why they can take down turrets with ease. And now he's providing pressure. But Rek'Sai has that ultimate. He has the rotations if ever there's a fight breaking. up in the top lane.
I've been looking at Varus and Vi for a while now because we all know that Varus can help set up junglers to gank any lane, but with Burst, a number of 4 levels uh, back from Tansu, it won't be, we won't see that coming, but it could have been useful though, so we will see how Burst will catch up.
Clearly, we see that Burst is very, very behind in terms of jungle, itemization, and level. That is a huge penalty. That's going to be
4 levels.
that's going to be very, very difficult for him to catch up. And now in the mid lane, he gets picked up by Burst. Endless Ace should not have, make himself look too vulnerable.
He was alone at the mid lane, he could have backed.
Oh, he can go all in with now Endless Ace gone. That gives TNC the go signal to dive Acclaiming Fire X, and it pays off with Match. Getting those resets, getting that double kill. This will entitle them to a Baron with only Tamsu alive, but will he opt for a steal?
Okay, we are slowly now feeling that Katarina presence. So a nice play from TNC and 4 members down with only Tamsu obviously. He's just lurking
He's
there.
going for it, guys. He might just go for a steal. And now with Orthros
Wait,
in the
Otto saw
rush.
him, wait.
What will happen here? He gets delayed by Orthros, but it's all on to Tamsu. Will he steal that Baron buff? He can go all in, but there's no more jungler. There's the Vi there just focusing on the Baron pit. Tamsu, he tunnels away. Will he get the Baron? Guys, will he get the Baron? No, he does not get the Baron, but he does kill Burst.
I like how he was so low on us but still managed to kill a champion.
They-
a really nice play
They
from
delayed the Baron. They gave them a hard time. And look at that. Oh, so close.
So cool. So it was a flash burn. So we will see. Endless Ace though. Well, AEX never fails to amuse us all. So I'm curious on what they will have to do at the latter part of the game.
With Baron on the hands of TNC, shoot a Claiming Fire X, play that safe tone, that same tone they've been playing all throughout, aggressiveness being the ones bringing the pressure, or should they tone it down, mellow it out, and also equalize with TNC's new Baron play?
With TNC's Baron play, I might want AEX to be a bit defensive for now since it's a Baron buff. It lasts for a long time and you wouldn't want to be reckless because once TNC manages to take down a number of objectives, it'll be hard for AEX to actually sustain and have a comeback.
Match really bringing in the pain right now with an Abyssal Scepter and Ludon's Echo, plus the Hextech Goblin. Catarina's AD ratio got adjusted. That's why they could take up with the recent patch. And now, what can we expect from TNC? Will they deliver the late game they've wanted for so long? Right now, 33 minutes in the game, Burst is now building the expansion, catching up with that gap compared to Damso. He's already reaching that 6-pack. That 6 item will be completed very soon.
Let's not forget that once Katarina reaches that late game, she'll be hard to take down. So what will AEX do? I mean, they have Vanguard and Cannon to help. So it's all on par.
With Cannon, it will really deny that easy burst by Match. Has the shield of Karma, has Redemption and Solari. That is going to be a huge benefit for his team. Great itemization for Cannon.
They actually neglect the love taps now and they're just really putting so much pressure on the mid lane.
Genvi really testing his luck. Now they're separated from the teammates. Rejoins them. Flash has been first. Look at Vanguard going all in. Now, Cloud figures up. This is the 4th dragon of the game, guys. Who will get it? It could be TNC uncontested.
We could see that TNC still has a clear view on their objective and now they have 3 Drake buffs.
But was it wise? Look at that, Acclaiming Fire X using that to their advantage. Okay, you guys got the Drake, but we got your inhibitor. We are now on your base, and Lando flashes the wall for the engage. This could be a fight for Acclaiming Fire X if they win. And look at that Vanguard over the wall. No damage to him. He has a lot of space for him to deal damage, and Burst delivering the final blow. And now Endless Ace has to back away. It was not a fight Acclaim was ready for, and with only Vanguard alive, this is going to be a successful defense by TNC.
A 2 for 40. I was actually looking at Tamsu all throughout the clash. He was a hard champion to kill. We could see how much power that this new jungle gave on to Tamsu.
You can clearly see that Vanguard had a really good position. You can see it here. Lando really set up the flash, opened it up for his allies, but clearly Acclaim answered that too with Vanguard over the wall. But with him over the wall, he did not offer too much to the table. And clearly, see how Burst catched up and now zoning out Cannon. And after that, it's all about pickups. Now they have been separated because of Lando's efforts to really scatter around the members of Claim Empire X.
A nice placement from Vanguard and Endless Ace.
What happened there is that they have been split up. It was now a chasing game, and you do not want to chase down enemies when there is a Vi. There is that Maokai and Katarina. They can just quickly close the gap, and that's why they're monopolizing it right now. High mobility champions, Maokai, Vi, match.
Should they choose to maximize that advantage, they might have this. They might have this game, but again, AEX has that Karma and Malzahar. So I'm really curious, and I'm at the edge of my seat right now.
Assault and batters to the ground. Cannon is the victim to that, but that gives open opportunity to Janvi. He goes down with no problem. Match has to reset. Let's see what happens. Look at that. Look at Lando soaking up that turret damage. No care in the world, no problem for him.
No problem for the turret damage indeed. Well, again, Arthurus did a really nice landing for that ult. It actually helped TNC. And going back to Lando, that helped though.
Knock, knock. Who is it? It's Lando on the front line of the turret. Look at him. He's now positioning. That goes to Cannon. He picks him up. Easy peasy. Now Match gets the reset. What is going to happen here? There is the stun. But where is the follow-up? There is the heaven fall from Endless Ace just getting nuked to the ground. But now Match has those reset. He gets that double kill. Backing away. It won't be enough. He goes down. Look at Thompson chasing down the targets. Burst might be the victim. But look at Lando finishing up the fight, sustaining enough, but he survives, but he has the Guardian Angel. Why did Endless Ace use so much of his time towards the Maokai? He is tanky, and look at that. He holds that front line really long.
It took so much time before Lando was able to. We could see Lando as Maokai is a huge threat. TNC was denying AEX of that chance to win, but we will see. Tamsu here at the top lane. What will he do and what will AEX do?
Obviously, he's gonna push that with ease with 3 members of TNC down.
Easy.
This looks really difficult for TNC to even come back from the Death Timer on their tank. Lando, the front line is very long. See what happened here. Lando over committed. I mean, he went all in, but check what happened after that. Setting up the clash, opening up, there was still that turret. They were all dancing around the turret, but when it was taken down, it was a bit too late. There was the cleanup happening. They've been diving turrets after turrets. The turret is there to always deal the damage, and when the members have really exhausted everything, they can't do much. It's a Varus and a Vi. They go all in, but they have no means of escape.
AEX might have won the clash, but let's not forget, TNC was able to take down a turret in exchange for that. The next Drake will be an Elder Drake. Ooh, this is gonna be fun.
It's an Elder Drake, the last dragon to really boost up your buffs. The team is gonna benefit greatly most would be TNC for rotations, Acclaim for that Mountain Drake. That's 2 stacked already. With Baron Life also, I think the priority would be that Baron.
At this point of the game, it's all about team fights and pickups. So far, I like how AEX was able to turn down clashes, but then again, TNC has a nice, with Lando on the front line, TNC knows what they're doing. And here again, at the mid lane, well, just a couple of light tensions with Tamsu just getting those buffs, and Burst though. Okay, Burst is now just 1 level below Tamsu. Well, Tamsu maxed out.
Match chasing away Tamsu from their territory. Look at that. Guardian Angels have been picked up by Match. He's getting tired of getting picked up, but look what happened. The members of TNC scattered on the ramp did not notice the group up of Acclaim Empire X with 3 members down. The odds of defending this approach by Acclaim Empire looks very, very bleak.
A really nice. Tamsu was here at the support as well. And oh, 3 champions down from TNC with Mash and Lando only up. What will these 2 champions do? Lando is super tanky, but
Will Match
yeah,
go into that fight? He does, but get cancelled without a problem. They pay the price by really splitting their team in around the map where they should not have done, giving them the ace and the first game of match 2. Congratulations for Acclaim Empire X for securing that first win.
let's not forget that 23 to 33 kills in favor of AEX.
So there you guys have it. Great play by Acclaim Empire X. They always brought pressure against TNC. TNC also pushed them back in the mid game to late game. But that last moment where they were split up, Acclaim grouped up always throughout the game. But at the last moment, they split up. Some people were at the jungle, some were around the Raptors, 3 members were on the mid lane. That was their mistake.
Yeah, that was the somewhat death of TNC. And here are the post-game stats.
With the stats, you can see how Burst had a really hard time itemizing. Look at his gold, just 13.9 thousand compared to the rich Tamsu with 18.9 thousand. And now, speaking of damage being taken, look at that. Wow, Tamsu really did a good job soaking up all that damage.
49,000. Wow, so much damage for. It actually worked to his favor. He is jungle, so he is bound to go to help his team and just be all over the map.
Of course, when you pick a Rek'Sai, it's that tanky jungle where you are in the front line, and that's why Burst had a hard time even approach the members of Acclaim Empire X. So there, guys, there you have it. That was the first game of match 2. Don't go away. We have game 2 later after a short break. So once again, you are watching the Pro Gaming Series 2017 Spring Split, powered by Bacchus Energy Drink. We'll see you later after a short break. Now they pay the price with NSAs from the top lane. Stunning Grace. He goes down. It's a 0-4 score now. 2-0 for Acclaim Empire X.
That was a really nice teleport from Lando, but we were
In case Burst is not going anywhere, but there is Match for the response. There is the double kill also by Thousand. That has been a really missed time for TNC against Acclaim because there is that knockup. Cancel literally holding it. Lands on Thousand, but now Match, he got his reset. He gets away and now leaving the members of TNC barely fighting for his life. Not much is gonna happen for TNC because 4 members of that match could not fully commit, knowing that there's hard crowd control. There, now Lando is gonna teleport, but will it be in time for him to save the fight? Look at Jeremy, 3 hitting with the rat-a-tat-tat. Lando notices that, goes to Jeremy to secure the kill, as he does, but now it's going to be a reverse fight for Acclaim Empire X. But with Lando there, it's gonna be a losing fight in that same direction. With the muscle, it's about time. Oh no, for escape from the Maker stun! And now it is pure cleanup for Acclaim Empire X. But hold that thought, Match is there with the reset, but won't do much because that is going to be an easy pickup for Gentry, giving him that double kill 43 with only first game to defend that base. It's not looking pretty for TNC. Oh, he can go all in with now NFA's gone. That gives TNC to go single to dive Acclaim Empire X, and it pays off with Match getting the reset, getting that double kill. Lando flashes the ball for the engage. This could be a fight with Acclaim Empire X if they win. And look at that banger over the wall. No damage to him. He has a lot of space for him to deal damage at first, delivering the final blow, and now NFA's has to back away. It was not a fight Acclaim was ready for, and with only Vanguard alive, this is going to be a successful defense by TNC. Assault and batters to the ground. Cannon is the pick to do that, but that can open opportunity to Jeffrey. He goes down with no problem. Match has to reset. Let's see what happens. Look at that. Look at Lando soaking up that current damage. No care in the world, no problem for him. Was the cannon? He picks him up easy peasy. Now Match gets the reset. What is gonna happen here? There's the stun, but where is the follow-up? There is the heaven fall from him. It's just getting
nuke to the ground, but now Match has those grease and he gets that double kill. Backing away won't be enough. He goes down. Look at Thompson chasing down the turrets. Burst might be the victim, but look at Lando finishing up the fight, sustaining enough, but he survived. But he has the Guardian Angel trying to eliminate. Use so much of his time towards the Maokai. He is tanking, and look at that. He holds the front line really long. End up getting picked up, but look what happened. The members of TNC scattered around did not notice the group up of Acclaim and Fire X with 3 members down. The odds of defending this approach by Acclaim and Fire looks very, very bleak. Will Match go into that fight? He does, but gets cancelled without a problem. They pay the price by really splitting their team around the map where they should not have done, giving them the ace and the first game of match 2. Congratulations for Acclaim for actually securing that first win.
Let's not forget that 23 to 33 kills in favor of AEX.
So there you guys have it. Great play by Acclaim. They always got